Hey everybody, I wanted to put together a quick video for you to walk you through what I would sort of expect if I were at a conference and you all were going to present your paper from this class. To do that, I will take the paper that I have in our Blackboard site here that I wrote, and I will make a PowerPoint for it. So you can see that I don't want you to overthink this at all. That's the key thing. When people mess up PowerPoint, they overthink. So stay away from that. So I'm going to start with a blank presentation, and that did not go as planned. Okay, we'll just switch back and forth. So what I always like to do is start out. Let me make a new slide here. Start out with a blank slide. I'll tell you more about that in just a second, but I like it because it gives you something to put up while you're warming the audience up. So a lot of folks will just immediately put up their title slide. We'll have one of those. You see it there. But before we do that, we'll want to have I like to have a blank slide. With this blank slide, I don't really care if you do it white or black, but if you do it in black, sometimes that's better because it looks like the screen is blank when you come up. Okay, let's go over and look at what I did for some sort of a attention getter. Again, you're not going to include everything from your paper in your PowerPoint. Please don't. It'll be more than 10 minutes. But I'll talk a little bit about the history of communication centers, the use of the Socratic method, some information about Grand Valley. Let's see. The knowledge market at Grand Valley. That seems like a good place to start. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back. Actually, let me come over here, open this. Look up a quick image of Socrates because I talk about the Socratic approach. Just any image will do as long as it's fairly large. 1400 by 600. Okie doke. Now, if I can do copy the image, swing it back over, paste. Okay. Now I'm going to crop it down a little bit. I know that you know a lot of this stuff, but you'll see, I hope, where I'm going with this in a minute, assuming I know where I'm going with this. I'm going to put Socrates here. And I'm going to put a real cheesy picture. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Duplicate that slide. Come back over and find a cheesy picture of myself. There's a cheesy one. Let's see if I can find a bigger one. That'll do it. Oh, come on. Just give me the copy of the image. Here we go. Paste. Crop this one up a little too. Try to make these similar in size. They don't need to be exact. Good enough. Try to get the white space just right here. That's got it. So actually, what I'm going to do is duplicate that slide, take this one out, go here, and take my picture out. I'll show you how that works in a second, but if you're used to using transitions, or I'm sorry, animations, this is the better alternative. So I'll start here, and then as I click that, it looks like it's an animation, but it's not. All right, so let's go back over. Don't overthink your title or any of that good jazz. Consultants in the classroom is good enough. Consultants in the classroom. CJB and all. You put your name, of course, there and all that good jazz. Now, new slide. What we'll want to do, you can do this a couple different ways. if you wanted to put in sort of a something like this, and then you could use your text over here, that's fine. I honestly would just go ahead and keep it like this. It makes more sense to me that way. But what you'll want to do in any sort of presentation is give the audience a preview. I wouldn't call it a preview. Go ahead and call it like, wow, if I could get my fingers right, topics to cover. And in this particular paper, we're going to do like a lit review and all that, but we'll call that, instead of literature review, background, the study. Let's be consistent here. The background, the study, the takeaway. Okay. Now, good slides, of course, are going to have a little more to it than just this. So let's go ahead and space this out. We got plenty of space. And it still looks blank. So think of this in quadrants. We've got these two taken care of, but this side's empty. Let's throw a picture in here. Now, we don't want just any old picture. So let's just do something like this. Images, preview, sure. Could do something that says preview, or we do the study and see what we get here. Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just do this. Since it's about a study at Grand Valley and everybody there in the study is from Grand Valley, we'll use one of these. So little. There we go. We'll use the athletic one. Gotta crop everything. All right. Let's get that lined up to the center of that box, and we'll be good there. All right, so made life a little easier because we've got a preview. So next up, we know that we can just call it the background. Now, let's go back over to the paper. And I'm going to put in these headings. So I'm not going to put review of literature, but collaborative consulting, embedded consultants. Let's go back here. Collaborative, whoops, man. Consulting, embedded consultants. What is next? Empowerment at the center. And then the survey, basically. Wait, well, I guess that's part of the empowerment. Then we get to methodology. Okay, so those are the three biggies. And then here we can even do confidence, influence, and agency, because those are the subpoints of that point. Good. Now let's see how we can spread these out. We don't want to do too much there. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay. That's going to work. I'm going to drop this down just a touch. That's probably going to go off again. My apologies. Yep. So, we'll keep moving forward. Collaborative consulting, embedded consultants. Let's see what we can find. I'll tell you what we'll do. GVSU knowledge market, because that's collaborative consulting. So let's see what images we can get. This is an old picture but it doesn't much matter for people at a conference. How big is this one? That one's, it's dark. We'll go with this. Work smart, not hard. Just a little large. Make it fit nice. There it is. So we've got the background. Next up was the study. So we'll just touch on methods, results. That's pretty much it. But the methods were different groups and empowerment survey. And then the results were based off of research questions, as yours will be. So these are our research questions. Boy, didn't realize I had 5 of them in this particular study, but I will just put, for time's sake, results RQ1, RQ2, RQ3, RQ4, Now, ideally, you're not going to have 5, so you won't have to worry about that. But I would list these out by the research question. So let's see. Empowerment survey or research questions. Let's see what we can come up with here. Probably a picture of the actual survey would be best. So, tell you what, let's do this. Back over here. Here are all those stats. This is the actual survey. So I'm just going to do a quick screenshot. Good. Come right back over here. Let's do, oops. Insert image. File. Let's go to your desktop. Bam. Got it. All right, so we've got the background, we've got the study. Next up, the takeaway. Oops. Let's see what that was. This is basically your discussion section. Future research and limitations. Seems like. So what we found in a nutshell, here's the discussion starting. Consultants in the classroom. So did you put them in there? Yes, but the workshop model was best. We're going to talk about saving money. We're going to talk about let's see. Let's flip it back over. Partnering with the instructors. And then you can do your own study. Okay. Partner with instructors. Study your institution. Okay, now let's jump back over, go back to images. Oops, so I don't have a clue what just happened there. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we're okay. Yep. And we're going to do a workshop. Oh, don't give me like a woodworking workshop. Okay, that'll work. And these are kind of lame, but it's a workshop. There we go. Now, if you'll notice, we had topics to cover. I'm just going to go here. I'm going to duplicate this slide. I'm going to bring it down, maybe. So it's at the end now, and let's just do a little bit of this. Topics covered. Great. And I'm going to duplicate that one. Bring it down. Here, let me do a little edit. Whoops. Empty picture frame. Your image here. Maybe this will already be out there and I don't have to make it. Okay, let's see. That'll work. Bring it back in. Get rid of this. We don't need all that, so let's crop it. Tuck this side in just a little to get it close. Tell you what might be nice if we grab this one again. There to there. Good. And you can be done. So I would start out with this so I can say things like, we do a lot of hard work in communication centers. In fact, we go all the way back to the Greeks and we do Socratic approaches. Thank you to Socrates. And so who would have thought that someone like Socrates and someone like myself would have anything in common? Well, we do, and here's what it is. So in order to find out more about that, we looked at consultants in the classroom. The purpose of this study was whatever it might be. And to give you more detail about that, we're going to cover these 3 big points: the background, the study, and the takeaway. So let's begin with the background. We do collaborative consulting, so that's multiple services, and we like to have embedded consultants in classrooms, which means they're actually in the room, but we're not sure exactly what the best way to do that is, if there's a better model than another. So we wanted to find that out, and we really wanted to find out which model empowered students the most. So to do this, we made those models, if you will, or those groups where we had an embedded consultant all the time in the room. We had a workshop model where the person just went in maybe twice a semester and did workshop activities, and of course the control group. We also had a empowerment survey that we created just for this, and I'll talk then about the validity and reliability and all that. So what we looked for were the results. Now, what you could do here is do a research question slide. So like RQ1, shoot, RQ1, and then new slide, RQ2, then I'll just put in here slide for each RQ. That's, again, you're not discussing it really, you're just saying, here's what I found. So now that you know what we found, let's talk about what you can take from this. Should we put consultants in the classroom? Yep, we should, and the workshop model was the best model. By doing that, you're not going to have students or consultants in the classroom all the time on the clock, which means you're going to save money. It will encourage and grow partnerships with instructors because you're going to need to know sort of the expectations of each other. But don't take my word for it. This works best at my institution. One of the limitations is that it was only at one institution and it was a small group. So study your institution. From this paper, you should be able to find exactly what I did so that you can try to do it as well. So today we talked about that we do important work, but we need a great model. We talked about how we found out which model was the best, and here are some things that you could learn. So while I never thought I would have anything in common with someone like Socrates, you can too. So try this out, see what you think, and let us know. Blah. Right? So there's your presentation. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Remember how we just kind of went through headings here. That's it. That's it. You don't have to go over the top. All right. I hope this is helpful. And if you have questions on this, do let me know.